Hello everyone, so I am back with another video on this channel, and the topic of today's video is why debugging skills have become much more important in the era of ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot, and a few tips which can help you improve the debugging skills to become a better programmer. So as you know that ChatGPT has been around for quite some time, and we are using GitHub Copilot in a lot of our projects for code snippet generation, and it has greatly improved developer productivity because we are able to code faster, we are able to come to conclusions faster, and we are able to generate code which solves a particular problem a bit faster. And a few tips which are essential and why debugging is important is because as we go on using ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot for code generation, the complexity of our projects is going to increase. The reason for this is, let's just say if we were able to deliver at 2x at some particular point of time manually using Stack Overflow, then that has grown to 4x using ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot. And as our developer productivity improves, the industry is going to expect that we can tackle much more complicated problems and much more complicated projects, and the level of complexity or the level of, let's just say, components or the parts of the projects are going to increase, and they are going to improve a lot. Even in case of UI development, there might be the case that the UI components will get significantly complicated and much more harder to debug and maintain as the complexity grows, because we are using code generation tools, and that is going to increase the expectations from a developer to deliver the code. The next thing is that we are using code from GitHub Copilot or ChatGPT directly. And let's just say if you are a junior developer and if you don't understand the code, it might create a lot of issues for you in future, because let's just say you are just copy pasting the code from GitHub Copilot or ChatGPT and you don't understand it. And in future, let's just say there comes a time where we have to tweak the code for meeting a particular project requirement. In that case, if we don't understand the code, then it will take a much larger amount of time to debug the code and understand it. So it is essential that when you generate some code from ChatGPT and if you don't understand a particular part of it, make sure to ask ChatGPT itself that what is the explanation of this code and how I can use it in my particular code snippet, code project or a particular project. The second thing is, as humans and AI collaborate with each other to generate the code, there might be an issue that the code generated from ChatGPT might contain some error. The reason for this is because there are hallucinations possible in ChatGPT code generation, and it might happen that the styling might be off, or the CSS or the JS code that you are using might not be able to handle the edge cases. And in that case, it is important that you have proper debugging skills to understand how the code works and where it is going wrong, so that you are able to fix the code in real time faster. The next thing is, as you improve the code and as you use the code, if there is any particular project requirements which is asked to do tweak the code and you are able to understand the code better, then you will be able to tweak it a lot faster than usual. The next thing is are a few tips. So the first tip is to, when you are debugging the code, understand the code flow and understand how the code is implemented, or what all the particular sections of the code are. As you understand the data flow of the project better and you are able to pinpoint, okay, this file contains the code for this particular feature, then in that case you are able to debug the code much more faster. The next tip is to have a logging in place and have loggers in place wherever required, and you have a understanding of, okay, this is where the code is working and this is where the data flow is, and this is where you have to generate a particular error or debug the error. If you are able to log the code and understand, okay, where the data flow is and where you are supposed to fix the issue using the logging practices, then you are better able to debug the code and fix the issues faster. The next tip is to understand the dev tools which are present in the Visual browser properly. The reason for this is, if you are able to understand how to use a debugger, how to use add breakpoints, and how to understand how the jump in a particular breakpoint works, or what all variables are present at a particular step in a particular breakpoint, then that will improve your developer productivity a lot faster. And there are some cases where console.log or logging step might not be much more easy to debug a particular step, but using a debugger you will be able to debug a code faster. And vice versa is also true, that at some point the debugging might take a lot of steps to debug the code. In that case, logging becomes a much more faster tool. So you need to understand both of them faster. Now Chrome has its own dev tools, Firefox has its own dev tools, so you need to be proficient in those dev tools to understand the code and be proficient to writing the code or fixing the issues faster. Next thing is have unit tests in place. So unit test helps you to understand when you are making some changes, and if the code is breaking a particular section of the code in other part of the project, then unit tests are beneficial in that case. Next thing is to get feedback from your peers on the way in which you are writing code, and for debugging as well, because your peers might have a knowledge which you might not have. And let's just say you spend 20-30 minutes into trying to solve some issue and you are not able to get the solution, then it's better to just ask your peers, okay, how do I solve it, because they might be able to help you solve the code fast. It's good time to spend time on uh, fixing a particular issue, but if you are taking up too much time, it's better to just ask your peers and get feedback and be able to debug the code as fast as possible. Another thing is when you are debugging the code, so in that case you can ask ChatGPT, okay, explain me the part of this code and help me understand how this particular step works or what all steps can be do. You can also improve the code complexity, and let's just say if you are trying to understand if this is working on n cube and you want to reduce it to O of n, then ChatGPT can come into that place and you are able to reduce the rendering cycles or the computation cycles using ChatGPT as well. So it's essential to improve your debugging skills, become better, and be a better programmer using the debugging skills in the era of ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot. So that's it from my end for today. Thank you. Have a nice day. Goodbye.